Hello, it's Phillip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London, and this morning I'm looking at a book which has come to us from Edward Elgar Publishing. An independent firm of publishers produce really excellent books for us in legal research. This one is the Research Handbook on European Union Administrative Law. It's, as is the case with the handbooks, it's been edited by a number of people and there are contributions in the chapters. This has been edited by Harlow, Paivi, Leino and Giacinto della Cananea. Now, I may have pronounced these names incorrectly and I do apologise in advance for that. The book's available as a book and an eBook, and also available through Elgaronline. It's part of the Research Handbooks in European Law series, and Elizabeth and I have given it our review title the following: An Important New Academic Research Handbook on Administrative Law from Edward Elgar Publishing. Let's have a look at the book first of all. It's a hardback. It's a heavy book actually, this one. Big one. There's the spine and then there's the back. You can see there's some quotes and there's a little bit of blurb, some of which I've used in this extract here. This is the index at the back. It's page numbering. There's quite a detailed index which I was impressed with. There we go, that's the index there. Then of course you've obviously got a lot of footnoting. You've got subheads. It doesn't seem to have much by way, it does have some numbering of the subheads, but there's no paragraph numbering as such, which you get with practitioner books. Now that's the front page of the book there, and this is the series. It's the Research Handbooks in European Law series from Elgar. Then you've got the blurb concerning Elgaronline there, and then you've got the various parts, the contents, contributors, and the various parts. There are in fact 6 parts: context and theory, the work of administration, resurgent authoritarianism, accountability and control, voice and citizenship, and impact and outreach. And then there's an end piece right at the end from the editors. These are the contributors, a lot of people involved in this book. Can't mention them all by name, I'm afraid, but you can see a large number of names there. And then some acknowledgements after that. Then you've got tables of cases, country by country, of course, again, very useful. Then you've got tables of legislation, of course, after that. Then you've got the actual work itself. About the handbook, do read that. It's basically an introduction from the editors, and it does tell you what this book is about, because this book was published, the date of the publication I think is round about beginning of 2017. Yes, I've actually reviewed this work a few months into 2017. The book itself obviously would have been prepared prior to Britain's decision to leave the European Union, and therefore we've got a sort of a little bit of a hiatus, because whatever happens, we've got the Article 50 triggered. We're going to have a Great Repeal Act very shortly with the consolidation of laws into English law, common law, and then we'll have various statutory instruments which allow, through delegated legislation, government ministers to change what laws may not be appropriate. Where we are with that, I don't know at the moment. Obviously, with administrative law, both EU and England and Wales based, if I can put it that way, or UK based if you want it wider than that. The difficulty with admin law, as I'm sure all of you who've ever been involved in it, is that we are looking very much at secondary legislation and what is going to happen in the future, basically because of the powers which Parliament bestows on organisations. So we, I think, at the moment are going to be in a period of quite substantial change, and we shall see where we go. But as I say, we've given it a title, an important new academic research tool for this handbook, and that's what it is. This is what we say about the book anyway. It goes without saying that the academic community rely more and more heavily on these excellent research handbooks from Elgar, and they produce these books for the legal profession, and I think they're of a very high quality. They also help us in the sense that they put a lot of stuff in one particular one-stop shop, if you like, so it does save us quite a lot of time with the researchers that we would otherwise conduct in the library. Now, the editors of this book are Harlow, Paivi, Leino, and Giacinto della Cananea. Again, I hope I pronounced the names correctly. They've got an experienced team of contributors to go with them, and they produce what I consider to be an exemplary work on admin law for the European Union at a time of great change for us on the continent. And I don't know where we're going to go with this decision to leave and what will happen, but at the moment we do have these books and they will be with us for some time. They clearly will have to be edited further at some stage, but we've no idea what the landscape will look like in the future legally, so there's a lot to play for. This handbook uses what the editors describe in their introduction as a thematic and interdisciplinary approach to discuss and analyse the various governance structures of the European Union, focusing in particular on how these are administered. This, of course, is one of the big critical areas which had led, probably with other issues, to the decision to leave by the United Kingdom, because there has been a very considerable criticism of bureaucracy, and of course administrative law is, or can be, fallaciously seen to be all about bureaucracy. It is about actually trying to ease the burden of primary legislation from Parliament, I would suggest, but that's not necessarily what some people think. However, that's where we are, and that's where we're going. All the contributors, as the leading experts in the field, have produced specific and key chapters, which are interestingly described as a mission to engage with important ongoing debates in the field of EU administrative law, focusing on areas of topical interest such as financial markets, the growing security state, and problematic common asylum procedures.